We like lots of pepper. Look at what I got. They eat so much. I swear it's like we have a teenage boy in our house right now. Oh, look at how crunchy we are. Well, hey everyone, it's Natalie. So glad you stopped by my channel to hang out with me today while I do a bit of food prepping. I have some meals to make, breakfast, lunch, dinner, just some really basic staple items that I make almost every week for our family of 5. We don't follow any sort of special diet. No one's counting calories or anything like that, but we do try to focus on having some good protein throughout the day for our meals. We feel healthiest that way. Some of these recipes are what some people would consider healthy, but that's all relative, right? I'm just sharing with you what we genuinely make. So I've got breakfast that I'm gonna start out with here. I'm gonna make some muffins. I'm going to get some bacon started, which is actually the first thing I'm gonna do. Then lunch, I have a chicken salad and an egg salad to make because my kids love chicken or egg salad. Sandwiches or lettuce cups, they love those. Dinner, we are making dinner for tonight specifically. We're gonna have lasagna, I'm gonna chop a salad, make homemade dressing, make homemade croutons, which actually I've never made homemade croutons before, so that will be fun. And then we have some snacks and extras. I'm gonna wash and prep our fruit and veggie boxes that we have, and I'll show you all about that. And then I'm gonna make homemade pesto with a twist. So stay tuned for that. First things first, we're gonna get this bacon in the oven. Yes, you heard me right, bacon in the oven. I have done this for 10 or more years, and whenever I show it in a video, people are like, what are you doing? I didn't think it was that bizarre of a concept, and I've seen other people do this, but it's the easiest way to make bacon. Now, you don't have to do this, but it makes it so much easier. I line my baking sheet with foil. That way you just wrap it up and toss it away, and you're not dealing with having to make sure that the bacon grease doesn't go down the drain. I just take the whole thing of bacon out, put it on the pan, peeling these bacon pieces apart and laying them down beside each other, piece by piece. Bacon's looking all cozy there on the pan. It's gonna go into the oven at 425 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at what I got. My KitchenAid stand mixer is here. I'm so excited. I've wanted one of these for years. Haley's gonna help me here in the kitchen. I haven't made anything with this yet, so I thought, what a better recipe for the inaugural use of the KitchenAid than my mom's muffin recipe. And as you can see, it was crazy hair day at Haley's preschool class this morning. How many of those little hair bows did we say are in your hair?
13.
13 hair bows. She's got herself a little stool, and we are gonna get making this recipe. 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of oats. So I'm gonna take this over. Typically I would use this in the corner, but I'm filming for you guys. I've got my little baking station over there in my little Lazy Susan corner cabinet, and that's where I have a lot of ingredients. So I'm just gonna throw stuff in here really quick. There you go. Okay, and 1 more.
Okay.
Oh, there we go, perfect. So we've got 2 cups of flour in there, and then can you add the oats? There we go, good job. Calls for a cup of sugar, which we are going to do brown sugar. I like it best. Well, she just stuck her hands into the brown sugar, so she's washing them. And I'm gonna add 4 teaspoons of baking powder, all clean.
Okay, now time for me.
There's number 3. I'm making muffins. Grandma's muffins. And
did everything checked off of your list?
Yes! The boys watched me make my list of what I wanted to cook today. We'll see if we get to it all. Teaspoon of salt. Would I use this attachment for it? Or the whisk? Not the dough hook. It's not dough.
No.
It's batter. No. Batter paddle? Is that what you do? I don't know. Hopefully this works.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna lock it. Can you lock? Your job is to lock, and I will choose that. There we go. I'm just grabbing what I have left in the fridge right now as far as milk goes. I made a Thai soup recipe, and I have a little bit of the coconut milk left over. Let's see how much is left in this. Oh, it's locked. Remember, it doesn't lift up when it's locked. And a half. Coconut milk is thick, especially when it's refrigerated like that. Okay, you gonna pour that in?
Yeah.
There you go, good job. Okay. Now let's pop that into the sink.
Okay, wait,
Oh, we have to lock it, you're right. Have to follow the steps. There we go. So it calls for 2 eggs, which is chicken eggs. So we're gonna do 1 duck egg instead, since are so big.
Oh, can I try?
Uh-huh. Whoop, there it goes. And then at the bottom of our daily fruit bin, we have some sad looking blueberries left. They're not so sad though when they're mixed up in the batter. So,
Oh,
okay, we're just gonna dump some in there. That's okay, the water comes out of the bottom. Oh, there's a few grapes in there too. Okay. My mom has developed this recipe to make it super easy to put whatever add-ins you have on hand. So we've done strawberries before, chocolate chips. Ooh, not too fast. So I have this old vintage Pyrex glass. I love this one. And then we're just going to dump this in.
Yeah, dump this in.
There we go.
Rub it up there. Is this square?
Ooh, that looks perfect. Look at how good that looks. It's just perfect. And would you look at that? Bacon is made for the week. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit before I transfer it into like a Ziploc bag or something to store it in the fridge. I just adjusted the temperature on the oven down to 350, and once that dings and tells me that it's cooled down from the bacon temperature, we'll pop this in for 30 minutes. So we have our muffins done, our baked bacon. We're gonna skip lunch right now because we'll come back to it. But I want to have dinner cooking while I do some of the other prep. So we're making lasagna, like I said. So we're gonna head over to the stovetop here and get some Italian sausage browning up. That is gonna go into our yummy lasagna tonight.
So in a large pan on medium-high heat with a little bit of oil in the bottom, I'm going to brown up 2 pounds of chicken Italian sausage. One of these pounds was hot, the other was mild. That's the combo I like to do for our family. And once that gets almost cooked up, I'm also going to add a bit of frozen kale and then also about 1.5 cups of frozen zucchini and yellow squash mixed. This is something that I prepped a long time ago, and a way I really like to use up our veggies in the fridge is just to chop up some veggies and throw them in the freezer. This works really well for us, and it's always nice to have veggies on hand to be able to throw into recipes. It's a great way to get some veggies into the kids. And once this is all browned up, it's going to be layered with lasagna pasta, ricotta cheese, mozzarella, some canned red sauce that I have, all in a 10 by 15 inch glass baking dish.
Looking good in there, starting to fluff up a bit. Dirty oven door, don't mind that. And this in here is almost done. We drained off the excess water from the squash in here and chopped up a couple of the bigger pieces just with my spatula here. And I think we are ready to assemble our lasagna, as my dad would call it. Let me know if you or anyone in your family purposely mispronounces something like tortilla, lasagna. Let me know in the comments, and while you do, I'm gonna start layering this up. Okay, just pulled the muffins out of the oven. They are looking scrumptious, and now it's time to put the lasagna in. 350 for 50 minutes covered in foil, and then for an additional 10 minutes with the foil off. Sometimes I'll even broil the top of it to get a little brown and bubbly. This is gonna go in. I have flour on the floor and who knows what else. I did clean up the dishes that we've used so far. Some of them are air drying, and I just peeled a bunch of eggs that I'm gonna make into egg salads. I actually have to wear gloves when I'm making egg salad sandwiches, when I'm chopping up the eggs, because not only do I have like an allergy when I eat them, but I also get hives on my hands if I handle them. But my kids love egg salad sandwiches, and I am happy to make them for them. I love egg salad sandwiches too, so hopefully if my initial experiment with duck eggs is true and that I can tolerate duck eggs, then maybe I'll be making some substitutes with that. Let me know if you have any experience with duck eggs versus chicken eggs, if you have a chicken egg allergy. I've actually considered getting ducks here, especially if duck eggs are something that I can eat without problem. But I was actually sharing in my last video that we are definitely getting chickens. My kids go through so many eggs. We're not getting chickens just so that we can get eggs from them. We also want the experience of raising chickens. I think that'd be cool. And it's a great way to get rid of like table scraps and stuff like that, like vegetable scraps. They love to eat those, and it would be just a great learning opportunity for us as a family and for the kids. And then the added benefit are those delicious home chicken eggs, which my kids go through an 18-pack of eggs in a week easy. Sometimes it's 2 dozen. This right here for this egg salad is a dozen eggs, and they will eat this probably within 48 hours.
48 hours.
2 days. Because 1 day is 24 hours. So 2 days, 24 times 2, or that's 24 plus 24, is 48. So when you hear someone say 48 hours, it means 2 days. But I do a very simple egg salad recipe. My chicken salad recipe is just a little bit more involved and complicated, but my kids like it simple. So a generous squirt, I don't even know how much. A dozen eggs, I would say half a cup of mayo. I'm gonna do a squirt of stone ground mustard or yellow mustard, so that's probably a tablespoon. 3 dashes, 1 dash for each kid of Tabasco. 1, 2, 3. That's gonna make you laugh. We do salt and pepper. And then I do some garlic.
Paprika?
Sure, paprika. Some paprika. We like Hungarian paprika. It tastes so good. And then you mix it all up.
Ooh, this is yummy.
So I'll just keep it simple. There's some egg salad. Let's find the lid to this. Oh, apparently I can't put the lid on it because they thought they were getting some now. So, okay, we'll do a pre-dinner snack. Number 1.
For me?
There you go.
No, code number. Oh, Liam's code number 1 because he's the first baby.
Yes, he was the first baby. He beat Judah by 2 hours, longest 2 hours of my life. How are those egg salad sandwiches? Good. Yeah, I'm so glad. Okay, it's almost time for me to pop that lasagna in, but first I'm gonna make this chicken salad. So we're gonna start by chopping a few little vegetables up. So I'm gonna put 3 10-ounce cans of chicken into this recipe, and for that quantity, I'm going to slice up a celery stalk, about that much of an onion, maybe like 1/8 of an onion, a pickle spear, and this much of an apple. Give or take. I'm not really a measurer, except for if I'm doing a little bit of baking. Actually, this recipe, I'm already crying from this onion. Ooh, this recipe is one of those that I like continue to add to the bowl throughout the week. So if we eat the chicken salad and I know we're gonna eat more, I'll add another can, I'll add another squirt of the vegan mayo that I use. I'll chop up a little bit more celery or a little bit more onion. So the recipe is not a science, it is not exact. But this is roughly where I start, let's just put it that way. All of my veggies in here, and now I'm gonna make the dressing for it. Just some of this vegan mayo. Again, I just kind of eyeball it. Just added a little splash of water to this, and now I'm gonna put in my seasonings. I've got your typical garlic, salt, pepper, paprika. I like lots of pepper in it. Generous amount of paprika in there, and then I like to put everything bagel seasoning. Just a good few dashes, some Tabasco as well. More than just a few dashes. I do like stuff a little bit spicy, a little bit flavorful. Some stone ground mustard. And I mix all of this, the veggies and the dressing, until they're well incorporated before I add the chicken in. because I feel like when you overmix canned chicken, it starts to get kind of mushy, and I actually really like to have those individual or shredded pieces in there. Uno, dos, and tres. I just very lightly break up the big pieces, and then I just mix it all together. And of course, I have to try it. Okay, and lunches are pretty much taken care of for the next 4 days, 5 days maybe. Something that helps us with lunchtime, actually pretty much any meal time, is our fruit and veggie boxes, which is something I'm gonna quickly prep today. So popping some frozen kale into recipes like I did for the lasagna, which, speaking of which, I need to get into the oven. Hold that thought. There we go. And 50 minutes. Thank you very much. And that should be ready just in time for dinner tonight. Where was I? Veggies, children. Kale hidden in the lasagna or whatever food you're making, great way to get veggies into your kids. But my best way to make my kids like veggies and familiarize them with veggies is to just constantly be offering it to them when they're hungry. So about this time of the day when I'm making dinner and they're, Mom, I'm hungry, I grab our veggie box out, I set it here on the counter or on the table, and they munch on it. And you know what? If veggies spoil my kids' appetite because, they ate a bunch of them before dinner, that's okay. They were eating veggies. I call that a win. I try to give this to them when they're really hungry because that's when they're most motivated to actually eat it. And I've been cutting up the stalk of the broccoli as well. It's kind of like little crunchy veggie chips for them. It's a good way to use all of the produce that we get. I had 2 heads of broccoli, but 1 for now. This is gonna go into a dinner another day. Got that, I have some baby carrots, let me put that in there. It's literally just a handful, and I also found some little baby cucumbers, so that's going in there. Also have some sugar snap peas, which my kids kind of like. They're not so sure about those. They love broccoli, they love carrots. These need to be rinsed, and I've been really enjoying these, oh gosh, what's the brand? Prep Works. The bottom part comes off and there's holes on the bottom, which is like its own colander in one. So I just rinse this out, set it to drip dry, and then you put it back on its little thing. And then the lid is really cool because it has a guide for how to store these. So you can put a little bit of water in the bottom. I think that's more for leafy greens. You can open these side vents. I've tried many different veggie produce keepers because I try not to get produce in bags when I'm at the grocery store, but I need a place to store them in my fridge. And bags or no bags, I've always wanted to keep my veggies in its own little spot, and having a veggie box that I can just set out for the kids to munch from is the best way that they eat their veggies. So I'm gonna rinse these off, and then I'm gonna quickly put together our fruit box, which is typically what we bring out for breakfast time. One of those things that would always go bad in our fridge. My kids love grapes, but I felt like when they were on the vine and in a bag in our fridge, I wasn't motivated to get up and wash them again and give them to the kids. And so if I take them off the vine and I pre-wash them and then store them in one of these things, we eat every single one. And sometimes they get popped into muffins. For strawberries, if I don't cut into a strawberry, they last way longer. I just rip the greens off the top, but I don't cut into it to take the greens off. That's less waste. The strawberries last longer in the fridge after they've been rinsed. Berries are really finicky with rinsing and then storing. And this method seems to work really well for us, but to be quite honest, food doesn't last very long in our house anyway because my kids eat so much these days. I mean, those egg salad sandwiches, that was their 3rd lunch, and they're gonna be hungry for dinner. And they'll want to eat the veggies before dinner. They eat so much, I swear, with the boys combined, it's like we have a teenage boy in our house right now. It's amazing how grimy your hands get when you're working with fruit that hasn't been washed especially the leaves of the strawberries. I'm gonna use those in a little bit, but first, let's wash up this fruit. We'll eat dinner in just a little bit, okay? Are you hungry? You want some veggies? Here are your veggies, right over there. Have at it, and I'm gonna make some pesto. Judah's been requesting pesto. Have the most important ingredient, the basil, fresh basil. And then we're also going to grind in these strawberry tops, but this all needs a good rinse before we can do that. Rinsed and kind of squeezed out, so that goes in there. Here's the strawberry tops. I mean, it's just a little bit, but it's better than throwing it away. We will have a composter at some point. That would be something I could give to my chickens if I had chickens, but now it's going in the pesto because once everything and all those strong flavors are all blended together, you can't even tell. And that's a really good way to use carrot tops and other edible leaves of food that we eat that would otherwise just get tossed. I got my basil in there. The next important ingredient is garlic. Yeah, you're right. This is my roasted garlic, which I actually showed a couple of videos ago how I make this. I just keep a jar of this in my fridge, and it's the best version of garlic ever.
Have a taste of it.
Yeah.
Is it spicy?
It's not as spicy once it's been roasted, so there you go. And it's in olive oil, which is another important ingredient in pesto. Look good? Oil in there, oh, it's so good. Just like everything else, olive oil, salt and pepper. I'm using extra virgin olive oil for this because it's not gonna get hot. Say it with me. We like lots of pepper.
We like lots of salt.
Typically my kids aren't really in my videos, they're just like running around in the background. But if mama's cooking, they wanna be right here with me. So they are here of their own volition. Yeah, we don't talk about it. Oh, look at you, you're in a bathing suit.
No, I'm in jammies.
I'm gonna go see if I can find nuts of some sort. Typically it's pine nuts. I don't think I have any of those. Almonds work though, I'll be right back. I found pistachios. This might be the weirdest pesto ever. Pistachio and strawberry top pesto. Ooh, look at how crunchy we are.
Is it plugged?
Okay. Yes, it's plugged on the side.
Now what?
Oh, are you okay? Are you choking over there? Okay. Blend. Let's see. Ooh,
Can I smell it? We're gonna taste this.
Oh, good. Yeah, that would be really fun. Garlic bread. It's a little sweet. Oh, you know what? I think there's also red wine vinegar in pesto. Let me throw that in there too. Dash, 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 dash.
What is that?
It needs a little bit of salt too.
Can I blend it again?
And you know what? I think it also needs a couple of fresh garlic cloves, not just, are you eating the grape stem? Okay. We're gonna put some fresh garlic in there. The roasted garlic is just a bit too mild. I made pesto.
Really? Oh, that's good.
Fragrant. Is it good? It's good.
Oh.
You know what I forgot to put in it?
Parmesan.
Yes, I forgot the cheese, and I had it all the way in here
It's
before I
good, but it's
realized
definitely
it.
missing that like fresh grated Parmesan.
Yeah. I can always add Parmesan to whatever I'm using the pesto for. Like if I make garlic bread, I can put the cheese on top. And then tonight I'm using it, I'm gonna mix it with some salad dressing just to kind of pump up those flavors. I'm gonna make that salad right now. One of the things that I prep every week out of our groceries is romaine lettuce. And that's actually what I was showing on Instagram when I asked you guys if you wanted to see a meal prep video. This is already done though. I just chop the ends off, rinse each leaf, dry them off, and then pop them in Ziploc bags. And they last a really long time. Not that we needed to because we eat so much of it. But I don't use any special containers and stuff for this because this is actually the best option that I found. So I'm gonna chop some of this up, mix in some of our pesto, call that a salad, and then there's that final 10 minutes ticking down with the foil off of the lasagna. That should be so good. It smells amazing in here.
So to make the salad, I just tossed a bit of homemade dressing with this romaine that I chopped up. The dressing was made with about a tablespoon of that pesto, a half cup of Greek yogurt, a splash of red wine vinegar, a splash of water just to sort of thin it out a little bit, and then a bit of Parmesan cheese. And then I wanted to try to make these croutons. This is inspired by Erica Vitrini that I follow over on Instagram. I will link her post for her homemade croutons in the description box so you guys can go check her out. I love her page for food inspiration, and these were actually really easy to make. Just took some day-old bread, ripped it up into little pieces, seasoned it with some oil and salt and pepper and some Italian seasoning, and then toasted it up in the oven, and it was perfect.
And with that, I think we are done. Lots of cooking today, but I really set myself up this week for breakfast, lunches, and dinner. This dinner will feed us for 2 nights at least. Have those veggies and fruit that we can snack on. Speaking of snacking, these croutons are addictive. So good. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me while I did some cooking for the week, some food prep. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know if you would like to see more videos like this on my channel. I'm always cooking, so I might as well film it, right? If that's something that you guys would like to see, I would love to do that for you. So thanks so much for spending a little part of your day here with me on my channel, and I'll catch you later.